Hello all. In this video, we are going to watch the demonstration of text generation using HuggingFace library. Before we go into the HuggingFace, let me explain you what is a text generation and how does the text generation work, what are the different examples of it, and then we will see what do we need for the text generation. So text generation is basically AI generating a human-like text based on the given input, which is also called as prompt. And this helps the machines to generate meaningful and contextually relevant responses, making it useful in various applications. And some of the applications is chatbots, content creation, and summarization. So text summarization is kind of a different application. However, summarizing is also kind of a generating a new text. In the chatbots, AI would be able to generate a response, kind of like a live response, as if it is communicating with a human. So that's why text generation is important there. So in order to do any kind of content creation, such as creating content for the website, writing articles, or writing some stories, any sort of product descriptions in marketing, you would be able to use the text generation. Okay, so this is what the text generation, and let's see how does this work. So basically, you would be providing a model. In your case, normally you do it with the chat gpt. So here we are going to use some model and provides an input sentence, which is a prompt, and then AI would be capable of predicting the next words. And how it's going to predict the next words based on how it has been trained on different data patterns and different data sets. Okay, so it also generates full response, so that is coherent and relevant to the given input. So it is capable of generating a complete response as well. Okay, so let's see on this Word document here. So let's say the input prompt is the future of AI is. Okay, and your model would be able to respond a contextually relevant response, so that is talking about the future of AI. It should not be talking about the future of maybe something else. Okay, so the response should be contextually relevant to what you're asking for. So that was the response being generated. And why this is important, so we have seen the applications, but why this is important? Because it enhances the AI communication most likely like a human. So AI driven chatbots, virtual assistants, or email automation. Sometimes we need to send a bulk emails or a same type of response to several people. So at the time, this enhancing AI communication will be very helpful. And the next thing is automates the content creation and aids in creative writing. Second one is, content creation. As I said, it helps you to speed up the process of writing the content, but you have to always make sure whether it is copyrighted content, legally to use or not for your applications. Of course, definitely in creative writing, novels, scripts, poetry, if you provide appropriate prompt, it's going to generate in that way. Okay, um, so what do we need? Basically, we need certain models, either um, BERT, GPT, or Transformer 5, which are widely used NLPs. So basically, what we are doing here is natural language processing to process the prompts and get the outputs. Okay, and you have different pipelines available to do in the HuggingFace. HuggingFace is a very popular library for the natural language processing models, and we could do text classification, sentiment analysis, question and answering, and text generation. Okay, so we'll be seeing the question and answering pipeline in the fourth module in developing the chatbots. So we will be seeing the sentiment analysis, text classification to NER in this module itself, and text generation as well in this module. Okay, so let's see what we have to do before we proceeding into the appropriate and install appropriate libraries. Okay, so I recommend you to go to the huggingface.co, www.huggingface.co. It's a website, and maybe you need to sign up by providing the details. Make sure you confirm that you're a human, not a robot. So do all this password check. So I mean, since I have already logged in, I'm going to sign in. Since I already signed up, I'm logging in. So this is a kind of a home page that you would normally see. You would be seeing different options here, profile. So most of the stuff we will be using the free versions. We don't pay money for this. And let's see here, different models, different data sets, spaces, post, docs, and enterprise versions here. So let's focus on models here. Click on the models. I know it's taking time. Very bad. Okay, so we got the models. Let me go back. I'm clicking on the models. Yes, we got different models here. On the left hand navigation, you would see a multimodal, computer vision, natural language processing, audio, tabular formats, and then reinforcement learning and other graph machine learning and all that stuff. So basically what it's provide you is this is a Hugging Face library where you are going to import several of these models. So that means if you are a Gen AI developer and you want to create your own model for removing the background of an image, or you want to do your own model for creating a video captions, so you could create your own models and use this to deploy or publish your models here. Okay, so let's say multimodal is basically working with various inputs and outputs. So let's say if you're using audio to text, select this one and you would be able to see different models here. Okay, so which model is best, which we cannot tell exactly, but you could be able to sort by the trending models or the most likes, most downloads. So, and then most recently created or recently updated ones. It depends on your needs, okay, or your popularity of your thing. So let me select the trending ones. So basically I can get that this model, these many downloads, 64,000 downloads, and you could read about the model here, what it is doing, and you could apply that in your applications. Okay, so for us, what we are doing today, text generation, right? So again, if you want to do computer vision, something like an image segmentation, you could go to one of these models and get those. Okay, so let's do natural language processing. We are using text generation. So click on the text generation here, and then we could be able to see lots of models here. Okay, you see the DeepSeek as well. Um, if you want to use some of these models, let's say if you are using Mistral Small, 24 billion parameters, so you could go and see the model somewhere here where you could be able to copy paste the source code here and able to put it there. Okay, so Mistral, oh no, this is prompt. Yeah, so here is a model that you are planning to use. So serve this. So basically you can copy this one and you could be able to paste it that in your Google Colab. Okay. So, I mean, you could be able to read that stuff, but we are not going to use that Mistral today, but we will see that in just a moment. Okay, so maybe for your assignment or practice purposes, you could be able to do those. Okay, so let me go to the Google Colab and try to get you those things. So before we do the Google Colab, let me show you the uh, how you would be able to create tokens for this. For that, click on your profile um, and then access tokens here, and you would be able to create a token, and you could provide some name as a key. Um, so provide name as a key and select the read mode and then create a token. And once you I'm not creating on the video, but once you create a token, you could be able to copy paste the token and copy that token from the Hugging Face and paste it in the Google Colab. Okay, so now I hope you get this with the Hugging Face. And now let's go to our Google Colab notebook here. So I always would recommend you to read what's the objective, what's the introduction that we are doing. Basically, whatever I mentioned here, it's clearly mentioned here. So make sure you read that. And here the requirements that we are going to use is transformers. And we need to install the transformer, import that particular transformer, get the API from the Hugging Face library that we just created using the key, and load the text generation pipeline. You have several different pipelines: question and answering pipeline, text generation, image processing, computer vision, all that stuff. You provide a prompt, generate the text, and print the output. Okay, so pip install transformers. So once it install, you would be able to see all these messages. Once you install, you would be able to import the pipeline from the transformers. You are importing OS as well, and this helps for you to configure the underlying environment for text generation. It helps you to configure your environment, developing environment. And now OS dot environment API key, basically you would be able to copy paste your key into this, okay, from the Hugging Face. So you would be loading the text generation pipeline here, and the model that you would be using is Distill GPT-2. Okay, so let me copy this and go here, and going to the model. We are using what? Text generation. I'm clicking on text generation. In the model, I could be able to copy paste Distill GPT-2. So I get the GPT-2. Is that correct? Yes. So maybe you can click here, copy the model, and you could be able to paste it here. Okay, so model is Distill GPT-2. Okay, so I selected Distill GPT-2. You may have a question, how, on what basis I selected. So this is kind of a trial and error method that I'm going to use. I used what could be the best results that I can get. Okay, so whatever I used compared to all those models, Distill GPT-2 provide the best results. You could search for different things, and whatever the model that you select might be providing the best result as well. Okay, so yeah, so let me explain you. Yeah, this is a key, and then you are going to use the model, whatever the model. If you are changing the model, just edit and copy, remove this and paste the model from the Hugging Face library. Here I'm using a prompt: after years of research, scientists finally discovered a secret to whatever it is. It's going to generate. Okay, so and now on what basis I need to adjust some parameters here to identify some of those things. So let's see, I am using a generator function, and whatever the function that I'm using generator, here I'm using 3 different parameters such as prompt, maximum length, do sample, and the temperature. So prompt has already been given in a local variable here. So the remaining are 3 different parameters here, and the output that I would get from the generator function is stored in a local variable called generated text. So the prompt is scientists might have found out something after a few years, right? So now we have the maximum length here. So maximum length is nothing but the maximum tokens that I would be able to see in the output. So I'm giving 100 tokens. So maximum length that I would expect in the output is 100. And the do sample, I made it true. So basically what the do sample does is it allows for more varied word choices instead of repetitive words. Okay. And temperature, the range of temperature varied from 0 to 2. So the lowest is the temperature value, you get the high probability of the words, focusing on the more less randomness. Okay, whereas if you have the highest temperature, your randomness will be increased. Okay, so all those definitions has been provided here as a part of your comments, so I would strongly recommend you to read, because I may ask some of these on the exam. Explain so and so parameter. Okay, so you should be able to do that. So if it is less than 1 temperature, considering the high probability words, greater than 1 low probability words, that means more randomness. Okay, so that means you would be getting like a ease of the all different types of words. And then the next step is I'm able to print that generated text of 0 and then the generated text here. So basically so it's basically an array. It's going to print all that stuff. Okay, so you can see the screenshot of in the video below. Okay, so sometimes it may not be able to generate the right so very well related, contextually relevant. Depends on the model. You don't have to feel bad because this is not your model. Okay, I have opened this in a working model. I just executed my sample Google Colab document I installed. I have done this. I imported, copy pasted this key. So text generation pipeline in the model has been used. After research this one, and then I would be able to get this output. So let me change the input here a little bit. Maybe I'm doing once upon a time. Once upon a time. Oh, I need to run it. Did I generate? No. I need to generate here with my prompts. I would recommend you to change the temperature and see how your output is changing. Okay, so once upon a time, this is what it's happening. It seems that I had a good life with a girl. It's a great feeling, so it depends on what it's going to generate. Okay, so this is a text generation using Hugging Face library. Okay, in the previous video we have seen text generation using PyTorch. Okay, so this is what I have for this video. Okay, thank you.